Hi, welcome back to my channel. The question today is, why is it difficult making friends as adults? While I was growing up, I had loads of friends. In fact, as young girls those days, we had this high hope that we would want to get married while still in school, or we just graduated from school. That's the higher institution, the university, obviously. The reason why we were hoping to have that kind of time, like that kind of, lies the word, opportunity to get married at that time, was because at that time you had plenty of friends that were willing to come and be the bridal train, ashebi and co, that kind of thing. But after school, like, and it takes a lot of time, let's say not like, let's say 2 3 4 years after school, when you're getting married, you hardly ever get enough friends. Like, if you're this type of person that like friends, that like colorful bridal showers, you would even find it difficult to gather 2 3 or 4 friends to actually come and be on your bridal train from school, except maybe those that you guys were really really close, or those that you guys still stay in the same environment, because sometimes in school everybody comes from different places, from different states. Maybe those that all of you are still in the same state could actually come to your wedding and all that. Some from secondary school, some from even way 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 primary school, childhood and all that. But then that's all the excitement, that's all the beautiful things about making friends when you're quite younger. But getting older, I now notice that making friends is really, really difficult. Now, when you meet people, even me, I'm guilty of that. Let me don't exonerate myself. When you meet people, the first thing you begin to look is more of social class. Are we on the same level? But then sometimes I don't blame people for looking that way, because in some cases, when you go and become friends with someone below, let's say, below your standard or below what you expect, you might end up regretting it, because two things are involved and one can actually happen. The person might end up pulling you down, or you might end up pulling the person up, which for me is better I pull the person up than the person pulling me down. And then there's another very important thing again, sometimes, is when you set into trying to make friends, like just the way you were younger, you were making friends like that in an older age, you're going to suffer. The reason why you're going to suffer is because when we're younger, we don't have boundaries. We don't set boundaries in friendship. Like those days when I was younger, my friends can just come into the house, see my mom outside, say hi to my mom, come inside my bedroom, not even the sitting room or anything, my bedroom. Like, there were no boundaries. We're that free like that. We can use each other's things. Sometimes we use each other's clothes, shoes, bags, that kind of thing. But as it stands now, like, there are friends that I don't even want to call them friends. Now that's the problem. Another thing, in adulthood, where we abuse the word friendships. There are some friends that are not friends. Why am I still using friends? Okay, there are some people that we meet. They're not our friends. They are acquaintances. Some are just our neighbors. Some are our colleagues, maybe in the place of work. Some are our, let me say, someone you just know. You get someone you just know. That's the thing. But we misuse that word friend. And so, therefore, in our heads, not only is it misused by our tongue, it's also misused in our own heads, because we now expect so much from that person that we're calling friend, but in reality, we're not friends. And then there's some people that draw the line, that they're very good in keeping, like, boundaries, like drawing the straight line boundaries, very sharp, where they know that you're not their friend. So the way people put you in their circle, and guess what? They don't even bother. They say it and they ask, like, do you know, I wish I could act that way, even though, like, right now I'm learning to, like, call a spade a spade, because to some extent I go out of my way to do things for people that don't even really matter. Like, today actually, and that reason that prompted me making this video is the fact that there are some people that we take up as friends, but they don't look at us as friends. I hope you know that, and that's not a crime. That's not an offense. You don't have to be in somebody's life. That's what I'm trying to say, that you cannot put yourself where the person doesn't want you to be there, if it makes sense. Now, I have this woman, of, I call her my friend. For me, in my deepest part of my heart, she's my friend. But I don't know if she sees me that way, because as friends we invite each other for 1 or 2 occasions. I've invited her for some of my occasions or my events, and she has never attended any. What I mean by none, she just keeps on giving me excuses. Either she did this, she had that. But her own events, virtually all the events she has invited me, I have attended. And then lo and behold, I think I was just sitting and I got a message and she was inviting me for an event, and I just made up my mind that I wasn't going for this event. So also 2 days ago or so, there was this other lady too I consider a friend, but there was something I noticed with her. She doesn't call me only when she needs something. Now for me, that's somehow. And then some other ones again, you look at them as friends, you feel that you could tell them some things. Maybe that's even where friendship is an issue in adulthood, where you try to confide in someone you think is your friend, and as soon as you finish discussing whatever it is you want to discuss, the person wraps up the whole conversation, goes out to someone that they consider a friend, and then vomit everything else, just like say everything fast. Sometimes they even say the things that you didn't even say. One thing with narration or moving information from one place to another, there's either going to be a plus or there's either going to be a minus. But for me, I feel that I'm your friend and I told you something in confidence. That other person you're going to tell is your friend, is not my friend. So if you going to that person to tell them things that I told you, for me it's unfair to me. I will not lie to you. Like, it's really, really unfair to me, because that person is your friend, not my friend. And I believe that whatever I told you should stay between us, especially if I specified. In fact, for me, if you're my friend, you don't even need to specify to tell me don't tell anybody. I just feel like our conversations are our conversations. Even if I want to talk about them, I wouldn't make the identity of that my friend. No, it's going to be anonymous. It's just going to be an example. Just like as I said, now a friend of mine called me, a friend of mine sent me an invite. I'm not coming out here to tell you that so person Ruth or Madam Elizabeth or Auntie Neka, did this. No, I wouldn't do that. But the thing is that having friends in adulthood, I notice is one of the most difficult things. Yes, you can have good relationships with people, but make sure in the midst of that good relationships with people, learn to set boundaries. That one is very, very important, so that you don't get hurt, so that you don't get misunderstood, so that you don't get insulted. Because there's something with people, when they know that you're this kind of person that don't have boundaries or don't set enough strong boundaries. Not just setting boundaries is one thing, abiding by those boundaries is another thing. When they go talk to you about other people, which I don't know, in adulthood it looks like keeping your mouth, keeping people keeping their mouth shut in adulthood seems to be one very difficult task. But when give this image of when they go talk to someone about you, their friends or whatever about you, those people don't look at you like an easy fence that they can cross. What I'm literally trying to say is that if you don't set boundaries in certain relationships, when those relationships extend themselves outside that relationship, whoever is going to have a clue of the kind of boundaries or no boundaries that you set would try to take advantage of it. So one thing with adulthood friendship is the fact that we are struggling hard to command respect. Respect is supposed to be earned, right? But it's almost like it's difficult to actually get simple respect, because there are certain things I don't do to people because I don't want them to do to me. But I just realized that in adults, some people don't really care. It doesn't matter to them, probably because you consider them friends and they don't consider you friends. Well, I don't want this video to be too long. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope to see you in another video. And please don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, so that each time I upload a new video, every time you will be the first to know. So thank you so much, and see you in another video. Bye. It's good and great.